In this tutorial, we'll discuss how to detect a collision in Blender, maybe in a rigid body simulation, and how to use it for various animation effects. For example, in this scene we can see that the balls are changing from silver to gold as soon as they hit the ground floor. This is a little advanced level tutorial, and we can first start with a simple scene, where a single ball is just falling on a floor. So we want to change the material of this ball automatically, just when it hits the floor. The shader node tree created for its material looks like this. Here we are mixing a silver material and a gold material, with the help of a mix shader. If we now manually change this mix factor to say 1, the silver material will convert into gold. But we won't do anything here manually, we will use a Python script to detect the collision, so let's open a text editor. Then click on the New button, and this is where we have to paste the Python script. You can download this script for free, the download link is given below in the video description, but before we run this script, we need to create a new collection here. Then move these two objects into this collection, which means both of our plane and the ball should remain within this new collection, and no other object should be present in this collection. Now select the plane, or the object with which the ball is going to collide. The script will automatically pick up all the objects that are present within this collection. Then we can run the script, and the script will create a custom property for our sphere, which you can see at the end of the object properties. The name of this property is collision frame, and it has got a value like 28. This is the frame number at which the ball is colliding with this floor for the first time. We can even verify it once, so with this side view of our scene, if we play the animation, we can see that the ball is colliding with the floor, just at frame number 28. It means the ball is coming to the closest distance from the floor, at 28, which is added here as a new property. Now we can use this vital information in whatever way we like. So one such option is to control its material property based on the collision frame number. We can easily access this property from here, using an attribute node. So let's go to the Add menu, then Input Group, and add an attribute node to our node tree. We have to enter the name of the property which we want to access, so we need to type the exact name, which is collision frame. Please remember that this is even case sensitive. Also, we need to change this type field to object, because this new property has been added at the object level. Now we'll compare this with the current frame number, so we need another node here from the Input Group. Let's add a value node, and we need to use a simple driver for this node, so enter hash, then frame, and hit enter. This will give us the current frame number and we'll compare it with the collision frame, so we need to add a greater than node here from the math group. Then finally, we'll connect this FAC to this node for the comparison, so that the output value of this node can be used as the mixing factor of this mix shader. That's all we need to do in order to bring the changeover in its material, so let's play the animation from the beginning. We can see that it converts from silver to gold as soon as it hits the ground floor. This might actually look very simple, because we can even do this transition manually, but if we take an example like this, where hundreds of balls are falling down on the floor, under rigid body physics, it will be impossible to set up the collision effect here manually. So let's make use of our script for a complex scenario like this one. We have already created a collection called Collection 2, and we have kept all our balls under this collection, along with this plane. The balls are falling down and colliding with this plane. You might have noticed that we have some options available in this script. This collision margin defines the minimum distance between two objects in order to detect a collision happening between them, and the value of this field depends on many factors. The size of your objects, or the accuracy of the physics calculation, like in the case of rigid body physics, these two fields control the accuracy, so they will play an important role to decide the collision margin. Let's change it to 0.2 for our case. We can also change the attribute name, which will be added here for each of the balls. Now let's run the script, and if you have enabled this reporting option in the script, you can see the progress in the console window. It will even display an alert whenever a collision is detected for any object. So the script can take some time to finish, and once it is complete, we can see that the new property got added for each object, or each ball. We can use this property from our shader editor or from any other place to manipulate any kind of animation. Let's open the shader editor and verify this. The node setup is just like before. We are comparing the collision frame with the current frame, and we'll connect the output of this comparison to the mix factor. So the material effect will look like this as expected. The balls will drop on the floor and immediately convert into gold. But while it looks good, there is a limitation to this node setup, because some of the balls may never hit the floor, they can get diverted from their collision with some other balls. And secondly, the script only runs between the start frame and the end frame, so some collisions may not actually happen within this frame range, and no collision frame will be available for those objects. So we need to slightly modify this node setup for those boundary cases. This new node tree is similar to the previous one, but we have added an extra mix shader here, which is connected to the silver or the first material. This will take care of those few balls that never actually hit the ground floor within the given frame range. They won't show any unexpected behavior, and you can follow the same thing for whatever purpose you're going to use this technique or this script. So that's all for today, and I hope it comes handy or useful in some of your projects. Next week we'll see a nice application of this technique when we discuss about musical marbles animation. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel.